Welcome to the Behind Closed Doors channel. Wishing you a peaceful day. Today, I'd like to share the following story with you. I hope you enjoy listening to my story. Now, please.
Testament of Fate. Part 1. A Death Without Words. The rain had been falling for 3 days. Not heavy, not violent. Just a quiet, relentless descent, as though the sky itself were keeping a secret it had no intention of sharing. The Trinh family estate stood in solitary isolation on the hillside, swallowed by damp fog. Water collected on every window pane, reflecting the pale yellow light within, a light that chilled rather than warmed. Trinh Quoc Hung, patriarch of the family, was dead. No warning, no prolonged illness, no final words. Simply found dead in his study, the door locked from the inside. That evening, the entire family was present. 3 children, the eldest son, Trinh Minh Quan, the middle daughter, Trinh Minh Chao, and the youngest son, Trinh Minh Kang. They sat in the drawing room, not a word exchanged between them. At the center of the room stood a large wooden table, upon which rested a brown envelope, the object responsible for making the atmosphere heavier than death itself. Attorney Nguyen Hoang Lam stood beside it, spectacles on, his expression unnervingly composed. He was the only person in that room with no blood ties to the family, and the only person who knew what the will contained. "Shall we begin?" His voice was even, measured, devoid of emotion. Minh Quan nodded, though his hand had already curled into a fist. Minh Chao sat with her arms folded, her gaze cold as ice. Minh Kang stared at the floor, as though trying to hide from something he already sensed was coming. The attorney opened the envelope. A single white sheet, folded with care. He began to read, "I, Trinh Quoc Hung, being of sound mind, hereby declare this to be my last will and testament." Each word fell deliberately, like stones dropped into still water. "My estate shall not be divided equally." The atmosphere in the room shifted instantaneously. Minh Quan raised his head. Minh Chao's brow furrowed. Minh Kang went rigid. "The sole beneficiary of the entirety of my estate shall be..." The attorney paused. One beat, just one, yet enough to stop 3 hearts. Trinh Minh Kang. The glass in Minh Chao's hand slipped and shattered on the floor. Minh Quan rose sharply to his feet. "That's impossible." His voice was hoarse. "Is this some kind of joke?" The attorney did not respond. He simply continued reading. "However, in order to claim the full inheritance, Minh Kang must fulfill one condition." Minh Kang looked up, his eyes filled with bewilderment. "What condition?" "Within 30 days, he must uncover the truth behind my death." The room descended into absolute silence. Outside, the rain continued to fall.
Part 2. The First Fracture. "What did you just read?" Minh Quan let out a short laugh, one entirely devoid of humor. "Father died of a stroke. The physician confirmed it." Attorney Lam set down the document. "That is the official finding." He looked directly at Minh Kang. "It is not the truth." Minh Chao stepped forward. "Are you implying someone murdered my father?" "Or," the attorney said, "that he was compelled to die?" Minh Kang felt his throat go dry. "Father knew in advance?" Lam gave a slow nod. "He came to see me 1 week before he passed." "And what did he say?" "He said," Lam continued quietly, "that someone in this house wanted him dead." No one spoke, but the look in their eyes had already begun to change. Minh Quan turned to look at Minh Kang. His gaze was sharp, cold. "So then, you, the sole heir, also happen to have the clearest motive. What are you saying?" Kang shot to his feet. "Isn't it obvious?" Minh Quan moved closer. "If father dies, you inherit everything." "Enough!" Minh Chao's voice cut through the room.
And what makes you any different? The company is drowning in debt. You need the money more than anyone. The air began to thicken. Civility was dissolving. Attorney Lam stood still and watched, as though he had foreseen all of this. "There is one more matter," he said. All three turned. "From this moment forward, until the truth is discovered, no one is permitted to leave this house." "I beg your pardon?" "It is stipulated in the will." Min Chao gave a cold smile. "And you expect us to comply?" The attorney said nothing. Instead, he reached into his briefcase and produced a small USB drive. "The house cameras." He placed it on the table. "They recorded all activity in the 48 hours preceding Mr. Hung's death." Min Kang felt his pulse quicken. "And should anyone attempt to leave," Lam continued, "I will deliver this footage in its entirety to the police." Silence reclaimed the room.
Part 3. Secrets in the Dark. That night, no one slept. Min Kang stood before the door to his father's study. The lock had been opened, but no one had dared to enter. He pushed the door, a faint smell of aged wood and old tobacco. Everything remained untouched. The desk, the bookshelf, the leather chair, and a small scratch on the floor. Kang crouched down, ran his fingers along it. Not an ordinary scratch. It looked more like something heavy had been dragged. "You noticed it too?" Min Chao's voice came from behind him. Kang startled and turned. "You also believe this wasn't a natural death?" Chao stepped inside, her eyes sweeping the room. "Father never left things in such disorder. Who do you think did this?" Chao was silent for a moment. Then she said, "Min Quan." Kang went still. "He's in desperate need of money," Chao continued, "and Father had just refused to help him." "But you have a motive as well," Kang said it quietly. Chao smiled, a smile that never reached her eyes. "Yes, and so do you." The two of them looked at one another, no longer brother and sister, but suspects.
Part 4. The first recording. The following morning, Attorney Lam played the first video, footage from the drawing room camera. Timestamp 22:14, one day before Mr. Hung's death. Min Quan appeared on screen, moving quickly, visibly tense, a folder of documents under his arm. He walked directly toward his father's study. Knocked. No response. He opened the door, went inside. The feed cut to the camera inside the room. Min Quan stood before the desk, opened the folder. His voice, low but audible. "If you refuse to sign, don't say I didn't warn you." The video paused. The room was silent. Min Quan's face had gone pale. "That had nothing to do with Father's death." Attorney Lam said nothing. He simply advanced to the next clip. And this time, the figure on screen was Min Chao.
Part 5. The Second Lie. The footage continued. Timestamp 23:02. Less than an hour after Min Quan had left the study. The door opened again. This time, the person who entered was Min Chao. Unlike her brother, she did not knock, nor did she hesitate. She walked straight in and pulled the door shut behind her with quiet deliberateness. In the recording, she did not turn on the lights. The room was lit only by the faint glow spilling in from the hallway, casting her face half in light, half in shadow, cold, unreadable. She approached the desk, stood motionless, said nothing, only looked at the chair where her father always sat. Several seconds passed. Then she spoke, barely above a whisper, yet clear enough for the microphone to capture. "I know. Father won't change his decision." Min Kang held his breath as he heard those words. On screen, Min Chao opened the desk drawer, retrieved a small box. "His heart medication," Kang murmured. The Chow on screen opened the lid, took out a single tablet, held it for a moment, and then set it down on the desk. Did not swallow it. Did not take it with her. Simply placed it down. "What on earth?" Min Quan muttered. On screen, Min Chow turned to leave, but before she reached the door, she paused, turned her head, and looked directly into the camera. That look was not the look of a daughter who had just visited her father's room. It was the look of someone checking whether she had been seen. The video ended. In the drawing room, present. "Explain yourself." Min Quan's voice was dangerously quiet. Min Chow leaned back in her chair, arms folded. "I was simply checking his medication." "In complete darkness? You think I need the lights on for that? What are you hiding? And what about you?" Chow fired back immediately. "What did 'don't say I didn't warn you' mean?" The tension snapped taut once more. Min Kang stood between them, but this time, he did not intervene. He was thinking. A small detail, a very small detail. "Chow," he spoke slowly, "the tablet you took out, you didn't put it back in the box." Min Chow said nothing. "I watched clearly," Kang continued. "You placed it on the desk. So, when I entered this room this morning, there was no tablet on the desk." The room fell utterly still. Min Quan's brow creased. "You're saying someone came back afterward?" Kang shook his head. "No." He looked directly at Min Chow. "I'm saying you lied." Part 6. A third-party attorney. Lam did not intervene. He simply and quietly played the next clip. Timestamp 0017. Midnight. The hallway camera. A figure appeared. Not Min Quan, not Min Chow. It was Min Kang. He moved slowly down the corridor. No lights turned on, as though he wished no one to know he was there. In the drawing room, Min Quan laughed. "Well, well. Our dutiful younger brother, the sole heir, last to appear." Kang did not react. His eyes remained fixed on the screen. In the footage, he stopped in front of the study door, did not knock, simply stood there for a long time. Then, he reached out and took hold of the handle, but did not open it. He stood a moment longer, then turned away, did not go inside. The video ended. "You didn't enter?" Min Chow asked. "No." "Then what were you doing there?" Kang was silent. A few seconds passed. He said, "I heard a sound." "What kind of sound?" "Dragging." The room went cold. Like something heavy being pulled across the floor. Min Chow and Min Quan looked at one another simultaneously. The same thought. The scratch marks on the floor. Part 7. The First Truth. "Replay the 2302 clip," Kang said. Attorney Lam complied. The footage of Min Chow appeared again. Kang moved close to the screen. "Stop here." The frame froze with Min Chow standing before the desk. Kang pointed to the lower corner of the image. "That." Min Quan narrowed his eyes. "What?" "The shadow." In the frame, beneath the dim light, there was a second shadow, not belonging to Min Chow, but cast from behind the door, as though someone had been standing just outside, watching. "That can't be," Min Chow whispered. "Someone was already there before you," Kang said. "And that person entered the room after you left." Min Quan spun toward the attorney. "Is there more footage?" Attorney Lam did not answer immediately. He looked at all three of them. For the first time, his expression carried something, an emotion. "One final clip," he said. "One that Mr. Hung did not wish you to see." No one spoke. "But according to the terms of the will," he placed his hand on the USB drive, "the time has come." The screen went black. Timestamp 0103. The camera inside the study. The door opened. A figure entered. But this time, none of the three could breathe, because the figure was none of them.
Part 8. The man who should not exist. All the air seemed to drain from the room. The figure in the footage entered deliberately, unhurried, unfurtive, as though that person had every right to be there. The faint light from the desk lamp illuminated a face, a middle-aged man, gray shirt, hair neatly combed. Min Quan frowned. "Who is that?" No one answered. Min Chao shook her head. "I've never seen him." Min Kang said nothing, but something within him was slowly taking shape. A feeling of familiarity, vague, elusive, but unmistakably there. In the footage, the man closed the door behind him. He walked to the desk, did not rummage, did not search. He simply sat down in Trinh Quoc Hung's chair. The act sent a chill down all three spines. No member of the family had ever dared to sit in that seat, yet this man did so as though it were his own. He opened the drawer, retrieved the pillbox, lifted the lid, removed one tablet, paused, then smiled. A slight, barely perceptible smile, yet sufficient to unsettle anyone watching. "Stop," Min Kang said. The screen froze. "Zoom in." Attorney Lam complied. The image of the tablet filled the frame. "That's not a heart tablet," Kang murmured. "What?" Min Quan asked. "Father's medication was round and white." He pointed at the screen. "This one is slightly off-white, and it has a scored line down the middle." Min Chao went pale. "A sedative?" "No," Kang said quietly. "A high-dose tranquilizer." The room fell into silence. On screen, the man placed the tablet in his mouth. He did not swallow, only held it there. Then he stood, moved toward the door. Before leaving, he turned his head and looked directly into the camera. His expression was utterly calm, as though he had always known this footage would one day be reviewed. And he was not afraid. In the drawing room, present. "Who is he?" Min Quan demanded. Attorney Lam was silent for a moment, then said, "Trinh Quoc Hung." The room seems to fracture. "That's impossible." Min Chao stepped back. "He's dead." 3 years ago, Min Quan continued, his voice dropping. Min Kang stared at the screen. "Uncle Doom." The younger brother of Trinh Quoc Hung, the man who had died in a traffic accident, whose body had been recovered, whose funeral had been held, whose story was supposed to be over. "Then who is the man in the footage?" Min Quan asked. Attorney Lam removed his glasses, cleaned them slowly. "The more precise question is," he looked directly at Min Kang, "was the person who died truly him?"
Part 9. A Buried Past. The rain outside grew heavier. Min Chao lowered herself into a chair, her hands clasped tightly. "This cannot be." "And yet it is," Min Chuan replied. Min Kang turned to the attorney. "Did father know about this?" "He suspected." "And he never told us?" The attorney looked at him. "He did not trust any of the three of you." The statement landed like a blade. Min Kang did not flinch, but something behind his eyes went dark. "He told me," Lam continued, "that if anything were to happen to him, the perpetrator would not be acting alone." "What do you mean?" Min Chao asked. "I mean," the attorney set the USB drive on the table. "It's possible that within this house, more than one person wanted him dead." No one spoke. The suspicion began to spread. Part 10. The Second Fracture. "We need to examine the study," Kang said. This time no one objected. All three entered together. The room looked the same as before, but the feeling was different, as though the room itself were harboring something. Kang went straight to the desk, opened the drawer. The pillbox was still there. He opened it, counted. "One is missing." Min Chuan frowned. "Just one?" "No," Kang shook his head. "At least two." "What do you mean?" "Chow took one out, and the man in the footage took another." Min Chow looked at him. "But if he didn't swallow it?" Kang turned to look at the glass of water on the desk, dry now, but a faint white residue lined the bottom. He dissolved it in the water. The other two went still. "Father took his medication before bed," Kang continued, "and if something had been introduced into the water..." He did not finish the sentence, but everyone understood. A moment of silence. The air was suffocating. Min Chuan turned away. "So, Father was poisoned?" "Not necessarily," Min Chow said. "It may have been only a sedative." "No," Kang spoke with quiet certainty. "Father didn't die immediately. He tried to get up," he pointed to the floor. "The drag marks. He tried to move, but didn't make it in time." The remaining question. "Then that man," Min Chuan said. "Why would he do it?" No one answered. But the same thought had formed in all three minds. If Trinh Quoc Hung was still alive, then his death 3 years ago was staged. And if so, who had helped him? In the corner of the room, Min Kang stood motionless. A memory suddenly surfaced. That night, 3 years ago, the funeral, the coffin sealed shut, and the only person who did not weep was his father. Part 11. The Man Who Helped the Dead Return. No one said another word, but the understanding was shared. The story had descended to a deeper level. "We've overlooked someone," Min Kang said. Min Quan frowned. "Who?" Kang turned to Attorney Lam. "You." The air crystallized. Min Chow stood abruptly. "What do you mean?" Kang did not take his eyes off the attorney. The only person absent from the camera footage, yet present from the very beginning. The only person who knew the contents of the will before Father died. The only person who could come and go from this house without arousing suspicion. Min Quan moved slowly closer. "You knew Dung was alive, didn't you?" A long pause. Then, Attorney Lam exhaled quietly. "At last, someone thought to look my way." Min Chow tightened her hands. "You helped him fake his death?" "No," the answer came quickly. "But I knew." "You knew and said nothing?" Min Quan said through clenched teeth. "It was your father's request." All three went still. The concealed truth. 3 years ago, the attorney began. Trinh Quoc Hung discovered that his younger brother, Trinh Quoc Dung, had embezzled company funds. Min Chow closed her eyes. "How much?" "Enough to bring the entire conglomerate to its knees, had it come to light." Min Quan swore under his breath. "So Father had him killed?" "No," the attorney shook his head. "He gave Dung a choice. Disappear, or face prison." Min Kang understood. "The accident was fabricated." "Correct." "Then whose body was it?" "Not his." The room went cold. "Your father buried a secret to protect the family's reputation, and also to keep Dung in the shadows. But something went wrong." "Then why did he come back?" Min Quan asked. Attorney Lam looked down. "Money." "More than money," Min Kang said. "Vengeance." The attorney did not deny it. Dung never accepted being erased from existence. He wanted to reclaim everything. And the most direct path, Min Chao whispered, was to kill Father. Part 12. The Will's Hidden Design. But, Min Quan suddenly said, the will. Father left the entire estate to Kang. So Dum's plan has already failed. Attorney Lam allowed himself a faint smile. No, that is precisely the plan. All three stared at him. The will was not written to distribute assets. Then what was it for? Min Chao asked. The attorney looked directly at Min Kang. To expose the second person. The second person? The one who helped Dung return. The air became difficult to breathe. Your father knew. Dung could not have acted alone. Someone inside this house facilitated him. That person is the most dangerous of all. The truth begins to break open. So, Min Quan turned to the other two. We are looking for a traitor. Min Chao gave a cold smile. No. We have been looking at them all along. Both turned to her. The cameras do not lie. All three of us were present on the night in question. All three had motive. All three had opportunity. She paused. Her gaze settled on Min Kang. But only one of us was chosen to find the truth.
Part 13. The final piece. Min Kang stood very still, his heartbeat slowed. A cold, crystalline thought. It wasn't arbitrary, he said. Father chose me, not out of trust, because he suspected me. No one spoke. He wanted to see what I would do when forced to choose between wealth and truth. A moment of fracture. Min Quan let out a short, humorless laugh. So we've been playing a game designed by a dead man. And the winner, he looked at Kang, may well be the one who killed him. The final question of this chapter. Then, Min Chao said slowly, we are left with one question. Who opened the door for the dead to return? A gust of wind swept through the corridor. The door to the study gave a faint click and swung open. No one had touched it. All three turned. In the darkness beyond, something had just moved.
Part 14. The door opens. The door to the study swung slowly open. No draft, no hand upon it, just a gentle, unhurried movement, yet enough to root all three in place. Min Chao was the first to speak. Someone is inside. Her voice was low, but steady. Min Chuan took one step forward. Impossible. We just finished searching it. Then, Kang said, someone has come back. The three looked at one another. No one spoke further. Then, together, they moved toward the open door. Each step felt as though they were walking into the full weight of their own suspicion. The door opened wide. The room was dark. The desk lamp had been switched on. Its pale yellow light fell across the surface of the desk and across the chair, which was occupied. The dead returns. Good evening. The voice was low and roughened but unmistakable. Min Chao recoiled. Min Chuan went rigid. Min Kang could not breathe. The man in the chair turned to face them. It was Trinh Quoc Hung, not a figure from camera footage, not a fragment of memory, but a living man. Impossible, Min Chuan breathed. You were dead. Dung smiled. So I was told. For 3 years, you all believed exactly that. He rose from the chair, slowly. But some deaths are nothing more than performance. Confrontation. Did you kill my father? Min Chao asked. No preamble, no deflection. Dung did not answer immediately. He looked at each of them in turn. His gaze lingered on Min Kang a beat longer than the rest. No. The answer left all three stunned. I did not kill my own brother. Then what were you doing in his room at midnight? Min Chuan demanded. Reclaiming what was mine. Money? Kang asked. No. Dung smiled faintly. Power. Half a truth. You put something in the water, Kang said. We saw it on the footage. Correct. And you still claim you didn't kill him? Dung exhaled slowly. I only wanted him to sleep, to give myself time to retrieve certain documents. But, he paused, his expression darkened. When I returned, he was already dead. No one spoke. Someone came after me. The words fell between them like a stone dropped into deep water. The final pieces begin to align. Who? Min Chuan asked. Dung did not reply directly. He looked toward Min Kang. You heard the dragging sound, didn't you? Kang gave a slow nod. That was when it happened, when that person moved him. To fabricate the scene, to conceal something. The truth is torn open. Are you saying, Min Chao whispered, Father didn't die from the medication? No, he died from asphyxiation. The air froze. Min Chuan stepped back. No, it can't be. The moment of shattering. Something was pressed against his face, Dung said. A pillow, or soft cloth. Nothing that would leave visible marks. Min Chao covered her mouth. Then, someone among us murdered Father. The final glance. All of them looked at each other. This was no longer suspicion. It was genuine, cold fear. The one who steps forward. There is no need for further conjecture. A voice broke the silence. Not Dung's, not any of the three. It was Attorney Lam. He stood in the doorway. No one knew how long he had been there. The game is over. He stepped inside, unhurried, his eyes no longer composed, but cold, deeply cold. You, Min Chuan stepped back. It was you. The attorney allowed a faint smile. At last, you understand. The terrible truth. The one who opened the way for Dung to return was I. The one who introduced the substance into the water was I. And the one who, he paused, his gaze moved across each face, concluded everything, a dead silence, was also I. Eruption. Why? Min Chao cried out. Attorney Lam looked at her. Because he deserved it. He destroyed my life. Your father was not the man you believed him to be. The light flickered faintly. Outside, the rain intensified. The story was not yet finished. Part 15. The True Father. The attorney's words fell like a verdict. Your father was not the man you believed him to be. Min Chao shook her head. Be quiet. You have no right to speak about my father. Right? Lam gave a cold laugh. How well do you think you actually knew him? No one answered, only the sound of rain. Trinh Quoc Hung, Lam spoke deliberately, took everything from my family. Min Quan's brow furrowed. 30 years ago, my father was his business partner. They built this company together, but then, Lam's voice became hoarse. He forged documents, framed my father for embezzlement. He seized full ownership of the company. And my father, he paused, died in prison. The room fell into a heavy, suffocating silence. Min Kang looked at him. You became a lawyer to wait for this day? No, Lam shook his head. To get close to him, to make him trust me, so that one day His eyes turned to glass. I could end it all. The truth of that final night. That night, Lam said, I entered his room. After Dung had left, he was still alive. Min Chao's voice trembled. You killed him? Not immediately. He regained consciousness. He saw me, and he knew what was about to happen. A silence. He begged. No one had expected that. Not for himself. For you. Those words extinguished something in all three of them. He said, Don't let my children learn the truth. He said, They won't be able to bear it. Min Kang closed his eyes. And yet, you still did it. Yes. Because Lam looked directly at him. Some debts are beyond forgiveness. The final act. You used a pillow, Kang said. Lam gave a single nod. No visible marks. No sound. Only a few minutes. Sufficient. Min Quan drove his fist into the wall. You are a murderer. And what was your father? Lam turned on him. Are you certain he was innocent? No one answered. Part 16. The Price of Truth. The room had descended into disorder. Too many truths, too many lies. No one knew anymore what they were permitted to believe. Min Chao sank into her chair. So, all of it was nothing but a cycle? Hatred answered with hatred? No one responded. The moment of reckoning. The police are on their way, Attorney Lam said. I contacted them myself. All three stared at him. You turned yourself in? No, Lam smiled softly. I am ending this story in the only way it deserves. He reached inside his jacket, withdrew a pistol. No one had time to react. A single shot rang out, sharp and final. Min Chao screamed, but none of the three had been struck. Attorney Lam collapsed. Blood spread slowly across the floor. He had taken his own life. The final silence. The rain ceased. The world fell still, a silence almost frightening in its completeness. Trinh Quoc Hung stood motionless. At last, it is over. But Min Kang shook his head. No, he looked around the room. It isn't. There is still one question. Min Quan and Min Chao looked at him. What more could there be? Kang lowered his voice. Father knew everything. So why did he not stop it? No one answered. Min Kang walked slowly to the desk, opened the drawer, retrieved a small envelope. Inside, a single sheet of paper, one line. Truth always carries a price. Kang's hands trembled. He turned it over. A second line. And sometimes, death is a choice. He went very still. That can't be. Min Chao stepped closer. What is it? Kang looked up. His eyes were hollow. Father knew he was going to die, and he accepted it. The three of them stood together in the room, no longer rivals, no longer suspects, only the truth and the price it had demanded. Outside the window, the sky was beginning to lighten. A new day was breaking. But for them, nothing would ever be the same again. Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe to the channel, like, comments, and share. See you again!